Good morning, dear students. So, here we begin our session. Today's date is October 6, 2025, and this is the Indian Express newspaper. And we are going to read all the important headlines of this newspaper. So, keep watching. This is not the front page, I think. I will start from the front page. So, this is the front page. And I'm going to read all the important headlines in context of all government exam. So please try to read all the important ones, okay? And reading newspaper is one of the best habit in student life. So try to read it every day, okay? And I will upload it every day. So keep watching. Some things you can negotiate, some you cannot. Yet to find landing ground for trade talks with US. Respect our red lines. This is by the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. And if you want detailed explanation of this news or any news of this page, then please go to the second page. There you get the detailed explanation, okay? So what he says, let's read it. That he says not minimizing issues, but tariff will not affect every dimension of ties, underlining that there are things you can negotiate and there are things you can't. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said Sunday that India, what he said, I will highlight it. He said on Sunday that India has been in talk with US for trade understanding, where we already learn about or read about that how US implementing tariff or imposing tariff. So this is the thing that is written here. So, speaking on concluding session of Kautilya Economic Conclave organizing in New Delhi by the Institute of Economic Growth and Ministry of Finance, S. Jaishankar referring to the Trump administration's opposing of 50% tariff on India, including 25% over its purchase of Russian oil, said, "I am not minimizing the issue, but I don't think we should take it to a point as though this is going to percolate to every dimension of the relationship. We need to see this in proportion." So this is the thing that is written here, and he just want to describe how the impact tariff and how the imposition of tariff impact the Indian. Okay, so let's move on to the another news. Draft notification issued September 26. Center's new draft rules make green nod easier for Adani cement unit in Kalyan. Okay. CEC Bihar voter rolls purified foreigners among those deleted. Energy weapons satellites radar network key to Sudarshan Chakra. So here we end the session. I mean to say that the first slide, and this is the second slide where you get the detailed explanation of the first slide. So this is the news. I think it's about the city. So read it in detail if you want. Otherwise, I am going to read all the important headlines or mainly the headlines. Okay. So amid rain, air quality in capital likely to remain clean longer this year. So this is about the AQI, air quality index, and how it says that due to the rain, the quality of air in Delhi. This is the data written here, that how the rain impact the air quality of Delhi. Capital means the capital of India, Delhi. Okay. Why AAP AAP choose industrialist Rajendra Gupta for Rajya Sabha? So here is the answer of this question written there. So read it in detail. because I generally try to skip all the political news, but if I see any debate type news or any important news, so I read all the news, otherwise I will going to skip that news. Okay, so in major crackdown, Delhi police seized over 1500 kg of fireworks in 48 hours. Okay, dispute started over daughters intercaste wedding. Self-styled godman kills wife over suspected affairs 9 years after she threw him out of home. Doctor assaulted by patient's family over delay in treatment. Former Delhi Police Chief Neeraj Kumar named in FIR weeks after Supreme Court order. Violation of rights, decades long fight for access roads. So, this is also about the city. Tired of being stuck in traffic. Why capitals roads are always congested. I think this is about Delhi. And I know this is mainly about the Delhi and the Gurgaon, how the traffic shows. So I highlight the name, and this is the number of vehicles registered in the year, and this is the data, and how the data increasing. Okay, so this is the thing, and the question that arises by the author is that how the congestion shows in Delhi Gurgaon due to this traffic. Okay, two Ghaziabad cops arrested for trying to help prisoner escape. Raw break out of inauguration plaque at community center in village in northwest Delhi. Men arrested for running sextortion racket by posing as cyber police officer. Equal opportunity government's aim CM. We were only once in Delhi. The whole area was a jungle at that time. So this is about the Sonam Wangchuk. So read it in detail because this is one of the most critical news that is going on. So read it in detail and what Supreme Court says in context of this news. Okay. In Supreme Court plea, Wangchuk wife slams campaign to defame movement says charges baseless. Wangchuk calls for judicial probe into Leh deaths. Lawyer. Okay. So Wangchuk, detained under the NSA, is currently judged in the Jodhpur Central Jail. One room in our house usurped have to reclaim. Bhagwat on POK. Everyone remember the name of the jail where he's kept? He's kept in Jodhpur Central Jail. So remember the name? Okay. UK Indian carrier strike groups conduct joint exercises in a first. INS Vikrant, HMS Prince of Wales lead drills off western coast. Mohilari sworn in as Bodoland Council Chief. Centre urges states to clear forest right act backlog 15% claims pending. A1 Boeing 787 emergency system deploys on its own DGCA to probe. Don't harass traders with tax raid until Diwali, says UPCM. This is by the UPCM, and the name of the CM is CM Yogi Adityanath, and he says that do not harass the traders with mainly increasing tax or anything else. Okay. Fresh violence in Cuttack. Government suspend internet for 12 hours. A portion of Dudhia iron bridge collapsed due to heavy rain in Darjeeling on Sunday, cutting off road link to Siliguri. Hmm. Mamta takes part in Puja Carnival. BJP says insensitive. 20 killed as rain landslide hit Darjeeling Hills. Natural disaster. Does Mamta's man-made flood charge against DVC holding water? Men held in Pahalgam case met terrorist 4 times, says official. Been prescribing this cough syrup for 15 years. Doctor held after MP children death. UP government orders seizure testing of cough syrup. So finally we are at the editorial page, and it is the one of the most important page. So read it in detail. I will try to explain. Okay. So worldly wise, war is an invention of the human mind. The human mind can invent peace, by Norman Cousins. Okay, this is the most important line of this editorial page. So, do not disturb. Babri Masjid dispute have been settled. It is imprudent for a former CGI to revive. So the author Faizan Mustafa want to explain about the judge should speak only through judgments. Unlike politicians, they are not supposed to justify them. Even if their judgments were wrong, they need not to be apologetic about them and cite the. Mm, can you give me the vocab of this meaning? Apologetic and cite me too in comment section. Okay, and cite God's guidance as the justification. Of course, future judges do have the power to overrule them, and the legislature may also overturn them. Richard Allen Posner, the great legal scholar and former American judge, once noted that it is better for us to view judge as human, not as Promethean, intent on changing the world, or a saint devoid of human weakness, bias, and foibles. Okay, so this is the point of view according to author, that we have to see judge as a human, not as a great woman or the great person who knows everything or his decision is always best. That's not the point. We have to we have to say that they are the judge and they give the decision, they make the rules, and I want to say that they are the judge. They say about anything in context of any judgmental issues. Okay, so it's about the CGI DY Chandrachud, and the author says, the author says in context of DY Chandrachud that construction of the Barbie Masjid as the fundamental art act of desecration was he only demonstrating his humanness by saying the exact opposite of what the Babri Masjid judgment had said. So the CGI is in the news of the 16th century when he says about the Ram temple in Ayodhya in assertion right What was the ASI finding? Why does the Justice Chandrachud attach more importance to them today? So this is the contest, and this is the point that is raised by the author, that why they mainly say about the Ram temple in Ayodhya, not about the Babri Masjid. So this is the thing that the author want to explain, that if they say about the Ram temple, then they also need to say about the Babri Masjid, and try to say in a good way or with point. Okay, because they are the judge regarding what political ideologies dispute Ayodhya with Babur and the Chabutra constructed outside Babri Masjid in 1850s. British prevent construction of temple over Chabutra. Okay, so Babri Masjid, while Hindus pray at Chabutra, covered with res judicate, and finally determined by the court, cannot be reopened, but the Supreme Court in 2019 judgment distinguishes between the inner and outer part of the property and importance of belief over other concern. So in context of Hindu temple or the Ram Mandir, okay, so it mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana or Tulsidas Ramcharitramanas, no historical record before 18th century made such a claim. Okay, which type of claim that is talk about? It is talk about the Hindu temple, the Ayodhya Ram Mandir. So the five judgmental explicit, where it is written here. Okay, so read it in detail what the report says. So the court went even doubt authentical ASI report. It says that ASI report dates underlying the structure in 12th century. There is a time gap about 4 centuries being the date of underlying structure and the construction of the mosque. No evidence is available to explain what transpired in the course of intervening period of nearly 4 centuries. So this is the thing that is written here. So the report mainly say about the judgmental issues, or the the words of the CGI on the mosque or on the temple. The debate is in the two topics, the about the mosque and about the temple. So it is written here. Just wait. Okay, I think just a second. So this is the judgmental issue. How Justice Chandra should forget that the Babri judgmental treated as only installation of idols in 1949 and the Ram temple in 1598. So the Supreme Court not only rejected the assumptions of Babri Masjid construction demolished Ram Mandir, it also rejected the argument of medieval grievance or ground to rake up new dispute in post-independence India. So this is the thing that is written here. So just should speak only through judgmental, unlike politician, they are not supposed to justify them. This is the thing that is written. Mainly, I already say about that. They are judge and they have to give decision. They have to take decision regarding the evidence or regarding any points. They didn't say that this political politicians say about that there is no need of Babri Masjid, so there is no construction of Babri Masjid. This is not the point of view. The main point of view that the author want to say about that, if they are the judge, they have to speak on the judgmental issues on the basis of judgments, not about the contest of any politician's view. Okay, this is the thing that is written here. So even if the judgments were wrong, they need to apologize. They need, if their judgments are, it doesn't mean that they are the judge, so they doesn't need to be apologized. So they have to be apologize because their judgmentals are wrong, if they're okay, and cites God's guidance as the justification. Of course, future judges do not have power to overrule them, and legislature may also overturn them. Let us not revive the debate if does no good to the country. Let Muslim also come forward and find an amicable solution to Kasi Mathura, and let Hindus assure them that other mosques will be protected as per the 1991 law. So this is the main thing that is written by the author Faizan Mustafa, and he is talking about the main thing and the main idea. He doesn't want to create any discrimination and doesn't want to make any war between the religious. Okay, they just want to, means he just want to explain their own thoughts on the Babri Masjid and on the Ram Mandir, that how the judgments, how the judges give the important points or give the important opinion on the Ram Mandir, when Ram temple, when it was going to build, but when the time came for the Babri Masjid, how they step back, how their judgmentals are changed just because of some politicians points of view. This is the main thing that is written here. So let's move on to the another topic. Next step way out. It's about what? So a lot is still not clear on both sides, but Trump's 20-point plan is significant step forward. Now the hard work begins. So this is about the Trump ways of eating. Overindulgence in carbohydrates and low protein intake are contributing to India's obesity crisis. Oh. So the main reason of malnutrition in India is the low intake of protein, according to this, okay, this article, and there is overindulgence of carbohydrate in the body. So Indians should have to take in a minimum amount of protein that requires body and the minimum of amount of carbohydrate. They have to think about this, okay, to make their health good. So it's the idea page. Amid uncertainty, RBI waits and watches. Decision to leave policy rate unchanged, leave ammunition with central bank to act if growth falters. So this is written here that RBI's MPC Monetary Policy Committee rates unchanged and maintains a stance at neutral. So with global tariff, this is written here, okay, that how H1B visa fees impact Indian and the risk of services import, how GST rates and reduction of tax burden in consumer, but still due to the tariff, how the Indians are get much impacted. Okay, so this is the written here. So read it in detail because this is one of the best news. So I will try to explain you, but not this time. But please try to read it in yourself because it's one of the best news. Because how the central bank changes its MPC or monetary policy in context of the tariff that is imposed by America. Let's move on to the another, an energy Atmanirbharta Act. Okay. One constant bears reminding, even as the contours of the energy map have changed, energy security remains a next priority. It first occupied this space 5 decades back when the Gulf countries embargoed oil supplies to the Western world for its support of Israel in the Yom Kippur War of October 1973. It remains front and center of every government's policy agenda. Energy, Atmanirbharta, is not just our aspiration; it is that of every country. Where debt meets gratitude. So this is the economy page. India, China complement each other more than compete right now. Okay. China, India can mutually benefit if we lower the barriers to trade. So this is the thing that is written here, that they are mainly talking about the trade barriers between India and China. So China says that India have to remove their trade barriers. So the condition of India will get better in terms of export and import. So this is the written here. Okay. So Chinese products should be manufactured in India to generate jobs. This is the main thing that is written here. As government readies legal tweak to open up and power India's SMR ambition get a private sector boost. Okay. Input tax credit issue insurer to charge 18% GST on agent commission. Revenue jumped 11% from the same quarter last year to $67.71 billion. Foxconn quarter 3 revenue hits record, misses market forecast. Okay, India European Union free trade agreement talks, new round starts today. So here we are going to end this session. If anyone want PDF, then please comment down PDF. I will definitely provide it in the description box. Okay, so this is the sports news. I skipped that news. So if anyone understand anything, then please like, share and subscribe. And thank you for watching.